Sometimes I think we see a bug and we think, oh my goodness, I've got bugs in my garden, and we go and grab whatever it is we think is going to kill that bug. But most bugs, so they put a hole in the leaf, right? Big deal. It's an eggplant, right? They can put all the holes in the leaves they want as long as the eggplants look okay for me. And so find whatever your comfort level is with those bugs. So one of the reasons we put the basil beside the tomatoes, actually two reasons. One is as companion plants, it's believed that they actually enhance the flavor of each other. They certainly taste good when you cook them together. But the other thing is that basil is a trap crop for Japanese beetle. Most of the time we're chopping up the basil small anyway, so I don't care if it's a little chewed up because it's going to get chopped. And the Japanese beetle love the basil so much that they will choose it over my tomato. So I put them right next door to kind of lure them onto those basils instead of onto the tomatoes. I think, you know, this is sort of, for me, a little bit more complicated, a little higher end for me, understanding which bugs to leave alone, which not to be concerned about, and in fact, which ones to really kind of invite into your garden. Like the parasitic wasps someone was mentioning earlier. Parasitic wasps will come into your garden, lay their eggs in the back, into the pores of the back of a tomato hornworm and kill it for you. Lacewings eat up all of the aphids, lady beetles, things like that. I think the top ones that we find in terms of crop damage are flea beetle. They're very, very jumpy, and they just put little sort of buckshot holes in all of your lettuce and all of your arugula. For flea beetle, what we find works even better before you reach for that bottle of spray is a row cover. When we put in arugula, we seed it all into the ground, and then we cover it with this spun fabric, Agribon it's called, row cover. Again, you can buy it at Johnny's or Fedco or anything. We simply cover the plant loosely with that. It provides a certain amount of frost protection, so this time of year, if it suddenly gets very cold, the row cover will help. It lets about 85% of the light and 85% of the water through. So we just put it on top of the seeds and rock it down so that it doesn't move, and we leave it there until the arugula is almost ready to harvest. We have a tremendous amount of cucumber beetle, which you'll see in those pages. They will infest sometimes our cucumber and our melons and things like that. If you put the fabric row cover over them initially, while the plants are getting established, those cucumber beetles won't find your plants. The trick is you need to then take that fabric row cover off for fruiting plants in order to get the pollinators in. And that's when the cucumber beetles hit you. So physical barriers, things like row cover. Another thing people use is sticky traps. It's basically like a really thick, super gluey paste. And for cucumber beetles, we put it on a yellow pie plate. We get yellow plates and we put them in the garden, and the cucumber beetles are so attracted to anything yellow, like a cucumber blossom, that they jump onto this plate. Once they're there, they're stuck and they can't get off. Soft-bodied worms and soft-bodied insects are a lot easier for us to deal with organically. There is a product called diatomaceous earth. In the evening, I go out and I dust the plants with diatomaceous earth. And diatomaceous earth is very, very finely ground silicon. It's finely, finely ground glass. And for people, it's nothing to eat it. You don't even know it's there. But for those worms, when they take a bite of the leaf, it's like they're eating a glass. And so overnight, all of those worms will be lacerated and die.
But be very careful you don't inhale it.
Don't inhale it. Don't inhale anything that you're putting on your garden. That's a good rule, particularly diatomaceous earth. And that is true also of any of if you do find that you're overborne and you have to use an organic insecticide spray, you should take every precaution the bottle says. Even though it's organic and it's not going to kill the frogs in the pond, it's not great for you. And so make sure that you have rubber gloves on, that once you spray it, you leave the garden for whatever the allotted time is.